1932. Right?
Right.
Yes.
2 seconds behind, I think we're on.
The wedding.
Good.
The bride and groom.
Marshall Country Club at Lion Lake.
Yeah.
Aha, look at that.
Grandma and Grandpa's Inn. Grandma and Grandpa Schaefer, I think.
Yes.
And I don't know who this man is. Anybody?
It couldn't be Harry Staver, could it?
Maybe. The attendants were Virginia Cronin and I guess Uncle Don.
That's right, Sue.
And I couldn't identify any of these people.
There's that same gal that was in the other one.
That's not young Bud Zinn, is
That
it?
is. Bud's in on the right.
I wondered.
And there's Uncle Fred Zinn
I thought so.
Yeah, well, he was in the
with
Secret
his
Service.
very distinctive mannerisms.
Well, anybody know who he
And
was.
mine, this one is pretty fuzzy.
Same with us. We can see it, but it's fuzzy.
This is the reception. Everybody's around tables.
Yes.
Inside at the country club.
Right.
Mom's cutting the cake. And then the plane
There we go, the plane. The plane.
from the Marshall Airport
And where did it go, Sue or Don?
Jackson.
to Jackson.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
And they'd arranged for a car to be there for them to drive on in.
Who was the pilot?
Fred, wasn't it?
Was Fred?
I think
Oh,
Fred.
really?
I
Fred
think-
arranged for it. Maybe he actually was the pilot as well.
That'd be fun if you were.
There we go.
Hop, skipping, and jump. Good, cute dress with all the flounces. And Coney Bronswell Smith. What's Coney Bronswell Smith?
Wonder if would that be Coney Island?
I think it is from
Oh, there it
later
is.
on.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks like Coney Island looks now,
Yeah.
sort of.
It's Grandma.
Grandma Dell certainly didn't change over the years.
No, she didn't, did she?
Was that the car you had at the farm? You know? You don't know.
I don't
What is the
think so.
footwork on that car?
What's the one on the car?
The what, Don?
Hood ornament.
Foot ornament?
Oh,
Is that like
And
a Jaguar?
do you think that was Mom walking on that fence?
Probably. Uh-oh.
This is an air show of some sort.
And this must have been some air show in the city.
would that be Battle Creek, do you think, those buildings?
Or New York City.
I was thinking New York City.
I'm going to New York.
All
The
right.
number of tall buildings.
And the number of planes.
Yep, I think you're right.
Is that one of the victory days?
You know, over
It could have been, Ann. Yeah.
the Hudson or maybe the East River, probably the Hudson.
Seems like it had to be because there's so many planes.
Yeah.
So, First World War, what would it have been?
No, this is just an air show, I'll bet.
You think so?
Yeah, somewhere in the mid-30s.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was before Frank, like the early.
Now, are
And
we
this
in
might
Florida?
be in Florida.
I think
Just
this is on a,
because I know they went sometimes when Grandma and Grandpa were there.
yeah, this is a Florida beach.
Oh my, oh, that's not beer. There you
That's
are, Frank.
I'm not sure. When we looked at this the other night, Ruth, I didn't think so.
That's not you?
I wasn't sure if this was Frank or not. Didn't quite look like
No.
I remembered Frank's picture.
I think that's a neighbor.
There's Grandma Dell.
And these may be neighbors at one of their early houses, or
In Florida?
I don't know.
Or in Florida, I think that's right. They're neighbor children.
Whoops. Is that somebody bandaged?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's certainly an eastern house.
What house is this? Wood Lane?
That isn't that Old Army Road?
No, this is before. Don's right. This is Woods Lane.
I couldn't remember Woods Lane, but,
I don't either.
no, I mean the name even.
Is that
But
where
Woods Lane was before Army Road, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
This-
this was probably before you were born.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that also in New York? Yeah. Where was Woods Lane?
Was Woods Lane in
Bronxville.
Bronxville?
I think
Yes.
that's why it's in
That's
Bronx.
a neighboring city.
It's pretty.
This is a nice house.
There you
There I am.
There you are. Can't mistake you.
That looks like Mary's baby picture.
It does.
Does it? Yeah.
Now, did you have your surgery before you were ever home?
Yes.
You were awfully cute.
All the children are above average.
Hey, great line, Don. Ruth and I looked at this one. I'm afraid I get a lot of FaceTime here compared with the rest of you.
Well, that's always what happens with the first.
Oh, that's right.
Very intelligent.
I'll tell you what
Joint
else happened.
families.
There was lots of wonderful news back to Athens about how smart Frank was later. And my mother began to worry that I wasn't as smart as Frank.
So what year did you move from Bronxville to Scarsdale?
I must have been 6 or 7 years old, Frank, so that would have been 1940.
Okay.
Can you date the move, Don, to Old Army Road?
No.
I can by a census entry, and I think it was still in the 30s.
Oh, okay.
39 or. In fact,
You-
I thought when I came
It
along
was
that
after you were
prompted the
born,
move.
Carl?
Yes, I thought I prompted the move. That is, having 3 kids resulted in moving to a larger house.
I have an early memory of seeing the little drawing in on the garage wall that the son of Frederick Lewis Allen drew. Our parents bought the house from Frederick Lewis Allen, the author. And the son's name was Oliver.
Really?
He'd drawn this picture and wrote Oliver underneath.
Very alert.
Well, that's the car seat of the 30s.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now this looks that well.
It's the way it looks in Michigan right now.
Not enough snow. Need more snow.
This isn't familiar.
There's a bridge. Give me a name, I'll check it out. See if we can find something that helps identify it.
That looked like Athens.
That's,
This is Athens. I wonder
Oh,
if that
there's-
was driving to Athens, like maybe they went to Marshall.
There's Edith. Edith, you see yourself?
There's Edith and senior
that's
class.
Helen and Edith.
One of those babies must have been Edith.
I recognize the plates from Thanksgiving there.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a good meal.
You recognize any of these
And
people?
then maybe Betty is.
we see Betty in a moment, I remember.
There's a baby. What year was she? How old? Here-
Betty would have been a toddler.
This must be Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas. How old would Fred have been? Tell Fred. How much older is?
That looks like it might be Don.
Is that Don?
That's Don, I believe.
That's Edith.
Or Edith?
That looks like Edith.
It looked
to
like
me.
a Carter.
Yeah. 'Cause there was your dad, Edith.
That was Edith in the basket.
Flowers and Bees, 1935. Now where's this garden?
So is this Bronxville again?
This would have to be Bronxville. We're too early for Scarsdale. And Grandpa Zinn was a great beekeeper in those days.
These go back to Bronxville, I didn't realize that.
I think they did, Don.
Look at that nice warm sun.
I think that was staged.
Now that's gotta be Don and you, Frank.
No, I don't know. That's
You don't
still,
think so?
that's still Frank. He looks like
I
Frank.
think so, and I think that's a neighbor,
The neighbor.
youngster. Yeah, the older boy.
Yeah, that's Frank.
Yeah, 'cause that looks like me
I know.
when I was that age.
The later ones where you see your way of locomotion, Frank.
Yeah.
That's Frank, and that one's you, Frank.
Yeah, and that's a neighbor kid. They're all neighbors there.
I love these outfits.
Yeah.
I think Dad always had quite a relationship with neighbor kids.
Yeah.
It looks like the kid with
Just
the...
for you, did Mr. Zinn come out and play?
That's right, Don.
All right.